Can we just get rid of these mechanics already? Welcome to MojoPlays, and today we'll be going over 10 open world cliches we're all sick of. Before we begin, we publish new content all week long, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. Fetch quests. Gee, I'd really like to get X item from Y location, but I'm just so busy. Can you get it for me, open world game protagonist? You'll be handsomely rewarded with a pitiful amount of the local currency for a useless item. Fetch quests may be a time-honored tradition in open world games, especially those with RPG elements, but they're a major annoyance for gamers. At best, they can feel like virtual errands with not much of a reward, and even when the prize is something good, we can't help but roll our eyes that we, the hero, seem to be the only person able to complete this task.
They're all the same. Go do this. Bring me that. Go kill him. I don't know if I can do this anymore.
One-line villagers. Open world games are often touted for their size and depth of their geography, but that same attention to detail is not always applied to their characters. Although major NPCs often have personalities, backstories, and dialogue trees, one-off characters in villages are rarely so lucky. Talking to a random townsperson repeatedly will frequently result in them spouting the same line over and over again. This is how the arrow in the knee guard became a meme. We're not asking for every random villager to be a fully fleshed out person, but even a little variety would be nice.
I used to be an adventurer like you. Then I took an arrow in the knee.
Timed missions.
Only 2 left now, Carl.
With how fast-paced the modern world is, gamers frequently turn to games to relax and escape from the time crunch. However, timed missions are pretty much the opposite of relaxing. The general idea is that you need to complete a certain objective, like a race, killing enemies, or protecting something or someone within a certain duration. Despite their frequently short lengths, however, timed missions often prove some of the most time-consuming missions to complete in open-world games. Whether it's a need for absolute precision necessitating many retries, or just the game being cheap and failing to register that you've completed the objective, timed missions try our patience more than our skill.
Smell it! You know that ozone smell. Smells like victory.
Escort missions.
Follow me, let's get through this. Damn, it's a gang of niggas out here. They got their whole hood with them.
Speaking of trying our patience, escort missions are another blight on open world games. Nothing says unlimited potential or freedom of gameplay like being shackled to an NPC or vehicle and trying to keep them alive. It certainly doesn't help that those involved in these scenarios seem to have a death wish, running into enemies or their projectiles with alarming frequency. For as much as some games can be about cooperation, gamers still like to succeed or fail based on their own merits, and not whether a computer-controlled character is able to stay alive or not.
Man, we only came here for a bite.
Glitches and bugs. Look, we get it. There's a lot that goes into open world games. As such, there's bound to be a few kinks to work out in the massive virtual worlds they feature. But even so, a remarkable number of them suffer from bugs and other glitches that break the game's physics or the game entirely. We're pretty sure it'd be impossible to find every bug in an open world game before release, but it's a little troubling that one of the hallmarks of an entire genre of games is that they're all so buggy. Heavily restricted mission paths. One of the things that draws players to open world games is the ability to play them however you want. Variety is the spice of life, after all, but some missions deprive us of the ability to choose how to accomplish a task. Unless you use the specific vehicle or take the path the game wants you to, you fail. It doesn't matter that the one we want to use is more efficient or faster, the game knows what's best for you in this very specific circumstance. Not only is this restrictive, it also clashes with the overall sensibilities of the genre. Locations are placed far away. In case their name didn't clue you in, open world games are big. Freaking huge in some cases. And that can mean a lot of walking, driving, or riding from one place to another. While there are usually some kind of fast travel systems in place, they're not always available right away, or they aren't always practical for getting where you want to go. This can mean that a lot of time spent playing these games is on travel, when what a lot of us want is to just get to the good part.
We go back. When I say we go back, and that's the end of it.
Lots of collectibles. Given how massive they are, open world games have a ton of content, and a lot of what they contain can be picked up and put in your magically large pockets. Everything from weapons and armor, to food and healing items, to crafting materials, to random junk, to special trophies, and, well, you get the idea. It's a lot of stuff to keep track of, which can lead to minutes, if not hours of playtime spent managing your inventory. We're all for being able to do whatever we want, but maybe we don't need to be able to pick up every knife and fork we come across.
Easy peasy.
You're turning into a fine blade. I'm proud of you.
Repetitive tasks. Open world games are all about potential and discovery. Unfortunately, many of them, particularly those made by Ubisoft, tend to feature repetitive missions and tasks that the player has to perform again and again. Oh, a tailing mission! Great! We can't wait to do 100 more of those. And how about another tower to climb? It sure is easy to pad out the runtime of a game if you copy and paste the same 5 mission type over and over. This becomes especially notable in long-running franchises, as seeing the same thing game after game gets so boring. Try something new, developers. Give us some chocolate or strawberry instead of all this vanilla.
Now if you're happy, I have more work to do.
Empty worlds.
Broken down and flat broke.
Adding insult to injury.
The scope of some open world games truly boggles the mind, but that doesn't matter if there's nothing to do in them. While smaller maps may not be as technically impressive, at least there's always something fun to find in those. Too many open world games have us walking around for minutes on end with no new things to see or do. Quantity is great, but we'll take quality any day. For all their emphasis on their worlds, these things are still, games. Without more to do, we might as well go for a walk in the real world. And who wants to do that? Check out these other great clips from MojoPlays, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.